Okay, so we had this story in Virginia. Now we have it in California, where this mom sued and won a $100,000 payout from the school district because the school tried to transition her daughter in secret. This is happening all over the country. Let's get into it. All right, so here's the background of what happened before the lawsuit. And again, this story is crazy. Check it out.
This next story is disturbing, to say the least. A California mother says two of her seventh grade daughter's teachers brainwashed her daughter into secretly changing her gender. The mom says this teacher, Lori Caldera, along with another teacher, started a so-called equality club and invited kids they thought were having difficulties with gender or sexual orientation, they thought. She says they would manipulate her child, all without her mom's knowledge. Listen.
You changed her personal documentation, her gender, her name, her email. I authorized an AKA added to her attendance because I wanted to be supportive. But guess what? She's allergic to bees. Her medical record says a birth name, and you changed it. Who administers that now? You took away my ability to parent my child, even before I had any knowledge. I didn't even get to show support. You asked for support, I didn't get a chance. Your job was to educate my child in math, science, English, etc. Do your job and let me do mine.
That mother, Jessica Cohen, joins me now with her attorney, Mark Trammell of the Center for American Liberty.
Now, this is happening across the country, like I said before. Let me take you back to the case in Virginia where this mom's daughter was being socially transitioned by the school in secret. Again, in secret. Check this out.
I'm the parent. I am an expert on my child. There is nobody in the school or court system that knows my daughter better than me.
Michelle Blair is suing her local school district, saying staff there secretly transitioned her daughter. Blair said her daughter was severely bullied in her Appomattox County school, leading her daughter to run away, only to be kidnapped and sex trafficked.
And it was verbal, physical, sexually harassed with constant threats of rape by the male classmates. But despite this, the school encouraged her to use the boys' bathroom.
Blair's daughter Sage had a history of mental health issues, including depression, eating disorders, self-harm, and hallucinations, and Blair informed the school of it prior to any of the incidents. However, the school pursued a social transition for Sage, behind the back of her parents, according to the lawsuit filed by the Child and Parent Rights Campaign.
So as you see, this is happening all over the country in these woke places, right? We want the children to be transitioned. We know that they're really boys, but they look like girls, and they're girls that look like boys. This is crazy. This is crazy. Now, this mother hasn't gotten the... that lawsuit is still pending. So hopefully, I pray she gets millions of dollars because that story is insane. Again, go check out that video. That story is insane. But this mother in California luckily was able to win her lawsuit.
Eric, I want to bring you in. I want to ask you, first of all, does this set a precedent for school leaders, counselors, administrators? And is it uncommon for counselors to say, you're safe here, you don't have to bring this home to your family? Is this really happening?
Well, this settlement certainly sends a message, and this type of stuff is happening across the country, in schools across the country, in probably all 50 states. And it's tragic. It's horrific. Schools are encouraging kids to keep secrets from their parents. Schools shouldn't be doing that. Schools should be fostering a relationship between students and their parents and encouraging students to have strong family bonds. But instead, they're encouraging kids to keep secrets. And it's all rooted in policy. It's all rooted in policy that says that teachers are required to keep this stuff secret from parents unless the child tells them otherwise. But we all know that this is just a vehicle for ideology to infect our public schools. So we're hopeful that this settlement sends a message loud and clear to these school districts across the country that if you socially transition a child in secret, there's a good chance you're going to get sued, and there's a good chance you're going to have to pay a lot of money because of it.
And that's true. That's true. I don't know why these school districts feel like they need to transition children. It's like, what about just teaching them the basics and letting parents take care of any of those birds and the bees, issues? When did schools believe that, hey, I can see a child and say, you know what, you really should be a boy. Let me transition you. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, I actually think at the end of the day, hopefully this payout will deter other school districts from like, hey, if we're going to be socially transitioning these kids, we got to, that's $100,000, and we don't want to, we don't want to lose $100,000 for every kid we socially transition. And let's not forget all those other kids, because her kid wasn't the only one. They had other kids in there. They were doing this too. So their parents probably are going to be getting a check too. And let's not forget about the poor mother in Virginia. Hopefully she gets as much money as possible, because what they did to her kid was horrific. But let me know what you think about this, because I understand the schools want to be on the right side of history, but socially transitioning someone's child behind their back, like no one at school said, I don't think this is a good idea. I think this may be a bad idea. Matter of fact, I think it might be such a bad idea that let's not do it, right? Let's not do it. They seem to be all into it. And, I want to leave you with this. I believe the schools are there to help your kids read, right? Learn about health and those type of things. And obviously, sex education is part of that curriculum. But when it comes to trying to tell your child that they are not the gender they believe to, or they can even say that you're not the race you believe you really are, or something like that. I think when it comes to things like that, you always have to bring the parent in, because teachers are supposed to be partners with parents, not adverse to parents. Now, when something like abuse happens, something like that, that's obviously something different. But something like this, where the children are saying, hey, I feel like I'm this, then that's at a point where maybe you want to open up the lines of communication between the parent and the child and say, hey, your child is saying this. Maybe you may want to, speak with them or find out something more. But in some of these cases, it's just the teachers take it upon themselves, because they essentially assume the parent is a bigot, right? The parent's not going to understand. We understand for you. And I think when the teacher starts acting like the parent, that's when you have the problem. Teachers are teachers. Parents are parents. And I think they should understand that. And I think this payout, hopefully, underscores that. Now, obviously, the school teachers union or the school district is, not available for comment, so they're not saying anything, because they don't want to pay out too much more money, because again, this was happening to a whole bunch of other students. But let me know how you feel in the comment section, because it's good to see this mom wasn't going for the BS, and she went there and told her mom and got a lawyer and now made them pay. And hopefully this mom will also have that same success. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'm out of here. Peace.